Again, my name is Classy Dudley. I do community work around the community, put on a couple of forums myself, and I like to help out with Sean here and other organizations. I'm supposed to mention, you have a sheet that has 17 amazing sponsors for this event. Take a look at that. What comes of this event too, or this forum, this Local Solution on Poverty Candidates Forum, is that they're going to be doing yes or no and holding the mayor and the city councils kind of to their word and have the results. And we have a wonderful group that's back there that'll be passing out these papers that tell you that it is October 29th at 12. They'll do a press conference with the result from this forum. Can we do a little dance back there? That group who is doing it? Yeah, it's kind of a little dance there, okay? Not really. So I'll name for all adults here, or most of us are young adults, and so just make sure you're respectful, no applause till the end of the forum. Oh my goodness. Bathrooms are back that way, male and female, and there also is healthcare, help yourself to food, plenty of food here as well. And make sure to thank Chum, because they definitely did a lot of work for this, and the Damiano Center. So, the people we have today we have some of the candidates. I'm going to introduce them by the race they're running and also their names, and the community leaders that will be speaking to the questions basically that will be asked to each one of the candidates. So in no particular order, sorry, I have to make sure who's all here is also on my sheet here. So Chuck Horton is tentatively supposed to be here, so we'll see if he'll show or not. And he's running for mayor. We have Emily Larson right here who's running for mayor. We also have, Carl Spring is not attending, so I hope he's not behind me. Okay, and then we have Gary Anderson running for 1st District for City Council. We have Joel Cypress running for 2nd District City Council. Okay, sorry. I want to say here, in attendance, so I don't have to keep looking back. We have M. Westerland running for 3rd District City Council. Okay, sorry. Janet Kennedy running for 5th District City Council. Awesome. Okay, then we have Jay Fozzie, who's not attending. We have Chris Ausbakken running at large. Here? Okay, perfect. And then Alyssa Hansing running at large. We have Noah Hobbs. I saw her thing. Noah Hobbs, I think, is right here. Yeah. Running at large. Jim Booth, I saw him. He's here, and he is running at large. So those are all of our candidates that are going to be answering our questions today. For our community leaders who will be talking about the housing issues, racial equity issues, transportation issues, or concerns earning safe and sick time, mental health, and racial equality. We have Andy Moe here for housing. Awesome. Salam Witherspoon for housing. Awesome, Heidi. We have Ricky Defoe, racial equity. Then we have Gary Furstenberg. Did I say that right? Awesome. I was practicing. All right, Deb Smith, earning sick and safe time. We have Jamel Jones, mental health. And last but not least, Karen Perry for racial equity. Is she here? Oh, yeah. I saw you, I swear. I'm sorry. My laugh is so annoying, I'm sorry. Alrighty. So I think I went over all the be respectful, childcare, bathroom location. The exits are right there. If all goes bad, we can find Matt. He is right there, or Courtney Corinne as well. Also, if you have forks from your eating, give them to Matt too, because I could not find where to put your dirty forks. Matt will be taking them. Alright. And our moderator, an amazing moderator is going to be when she comes here is Renee Pascal, and she is the anchor for WDIO. Basal, excuse me, yes. And she is going to be here any minute now. So I hope I'm doing all right. I hope they invite me next year. All right. Thank you. So let's see. I'm going to kind of explain, I guess, how this form is going to be going. We have a lot of paper. And bam, right here. All right, so basically we're gonna take, oh, I forgot to mention too that we will be having question and answer time at during the whole form. So, awesome. So question and answer is basically you can write any question at any time that you have during the form, and you can just raise your hand at any time during the form, and we have lovely lady back there and a few other people who will be running around and taking your questions. We'll be reviewing them, and if time permits, be asking them to the candidates at the end, which we mostly do. So now to our wonderful moderator, Renee, who is here. All right, round of applause is okay.
Thanks for stretching it out, classy. I drove here as fast as I could without breaking any speed limits, but the 5 o'clock news is done at 5:30. I can't really change it. I should have just given it to Justin and let him finish up for me, but who knows what would have happened. Thank you for having me be your moderator tonight. It's quite an honor. I got to do it last year, and it was really interesting to see. Usually forums are in a different style than this one, and this one, makes it exciting for the media who are here too. It's kind of like, wow, this is different. We get to hear more from people in the community. Not that we don't want to hear from our lovely candidates all the time, but it's nice to hear from people in the community as well. So again, it's a reverse style forum, which means the storytellers from the community actually have more time to speak, and they'll be addressing some issues out there, and they want to bring solutions to the candidates through their stories. So each of the storytellers will have 5 minutes, and then each of the candidates will have 1 minute to respond yes or no, and why. We have a timekeeper right there, lovely Sophie, and with strict timelines to get through our agenda. There will be some time at the end for some Q&A from the audience, so if you have a question you'd like addressed, there will be little note cards that you can write it down on, and then just either raise your hand or give it to someone from back there. There's a young lady waving her hands around with a maroon vest on. And so we'll be going through those through the process, and then try to get to some of your questions at the end. So again, let's see. We're going to begin, I think. And our first storyteller is Andy, and the topic is housing. I do believe you come up here, yes. Or, oh no, I'm sorry, there looks like there's a, but maybe, I don't know. Whatever way you want. Oh yeah, feel free.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Moe. I am 38 years old, a loving father of one, and lifetime Twin Forest resident dealing with mental illness and have been chronically homeless. 2 years ago, my life changed in a way I never imagined. After a haunting domestic incident, I became homeless for the first time in my life. I have lived a relatively privileged life compared to what I've seen in the last couple of years. I always had shelter, never was hungry, always had a place to go if it was storming outside, if I needed a place to rest, or my mental illness was getting the best of me and I was scared. I was outside for the first time in my life without a clue how to survive outside. Where is it safe? Where is it not safe to sleep? Who can I trust? And where do I find the services I did not know the first place to go? Where to use the bathroom? I was completely broken with a strong sense of humiliation that some days still invades me. The first 2 weeks were the longest 2 weeks of my life. I've never walked so much. I was worried that if I sat somewhere for more than a couple of minutes, I would get harassed by the police the way I'd seen it happen to other homeless folks. Worried I would be found in the woods at night by someone who had less than honorable intentions. Worried about being in a new place and not knowing anyone, and worried about being exploited by the sharks who sometimes swim amongst the meek and destitute. Then there are the social stigmas, humiliations, and false judgments that come with the territory. They are no good. They are all alcoholics and drug addicts. They all want to leech the system. If they had a job, they wouldn't be in their present situation. Worst of all, in my own mind, they are all dangerous, as that kind of fear is poison. I have seen all sorts of exploitation, from sexual to physical to mental. I have seen pimps working the lunch lines looking for victims, both female and male, tempting them with a place to sleep that is then outside in the middle of winter. I have seen drug dealers, bullies, and self-described vigilantes beat people who, since they were homeless, were afraid to report it for fear of not being listened to or cared about. I have seen multiple concurrences of people being harassed and ticketed that are sleeping in a park due to some very real barriers to a traditional shelter, many for mental health reasons. I have seen people who have been stuck in the extreme cold for so long, they had frostbite and had to have their toes amputated because they went gangrenous. I have seen a rental market that makes it hard for people experiencing poverty and homelessness due to mental health or legal issues such as past felonies. I have met people whose biggest crime against society was wanting to rest in a park because they had nowhere else to go. I have met people who for the longest time were one paycheck away from homelessness, only to have it happen. I have met people who, because of house fires, were camping in the woods. Yes, there are many people who are chemically dependent, but those people are just as much human as the rest of us, and they deserve to be treated as such, not like animals to throw in jail. Here's one personal experience I would like to talk about. A month or two into my homelessness, I had a gigantic panic attack that sent me to the hospital. I was given very strong drugs to calm down, only to be waken up and discharged 2 hours later. I could barely walk because of the meds. I was so scared I was going to fall asleep in broad daylight, where I was saying in the shelter in Superior that you had to leave in the morning and you could not be back till later. This is just one example. In the state of Minnesota, the homeless are not a protected population, which I believe we should be. This is not acceptable to me. We can do better. I came this evening to try to humanize the vulnerable. For in my eyes, what makes a community great is how they treat their most vulnerable. Some well-intentioned people say instead of talking about the rights of the homeless, we should focus on how to get everybody into housing. Of course, we agree that we should create housing opportunities for everybody, but that housing does not exist yet. There are hundreds, if not 1,000 people like me that are waiting on lists that are up to 2 years long. Everyone deserves the right to rest and move freely and not feel like a second-class citizen. My question is this: will you commit to amending the Duluth Human Rights Ordinance to include people experiencing homelessness, those who have experienced homelessness, and those perceived as homeless as a protected class? And will you commit to an audit of city policies and ordinances on public safety, parks, and community development with the goal of amending or removing any regulations that interfere with the rights of Duluthians who are homeless, including the right to rest, movement, privacy, and freedom from discrimination? Thank you very much.
That was a really moving story to tell, and we're going to start with candidate Gary Anderson.